Now it's time to turn it over to Loretta. She's making some Santa cookies for us. Doesn't she look cute with the hat on? She doesn't like to wear hats, but I put one on her anyways. All right, take it over, Loretta.
All right, so I'm going to do
She
things
does.
Santa because Santa is going to be really, really busy this year because everybody's been good, okay? And everybody deserves good gifts under the tree. So we have to treat Santa very, very well. So lots of people are going to be making him hot chocolate and cookies. And I'm going to make a delicious mousse with a little cold brew in it so he can keep going and make all his deliveries. And then I'm going to give him a little sugar detox cookie because you know what? He's going to get all those sugar cookies and he's not even going to know there's not sugar in them because they are so delicious. All right. So first of all, with the mousse, I'm going to use my whip and mix. Guys, this is your holiday helper all month long. And I'm telling you, after the holidays too. Okay. I've already used this like 3 or 4 times in the last few days. I did a tuna salad dressing. I did a ricotta cheese filling for my crock pot lasagna, which I did in the pressure cooker. I use it all the time. So really quickly, I already took 1 cup of heavy cream, okay? And I just whipped it really quickly for you so it has some soft peaks. I didn't want to do really, really stiff peaks. I wanted some soft peaks because now I'm going to add my flavoring, okay? So I'm going to add delicious, creamy hazelnut spread. I like to use Nutella, of course, I'm Italian. And I took our micro pitcher, which can withstand really high temperatures, because when you microwave anything that has high sugar or high fat, you need special products, and our micro pitcher is perfect for that, okay? So I actually took this and I heated it for 30 seconds, okay? And then I let it cool for about 5 minutes. And what that does, it makes it nice and gooey, okay? Because sometimes it's a little too hard when it comes out of the jar. All right, so I've got that. And now I'm going to add, and I want to keep everything chilled, especially when you're doing something with creams like that. And I had the cream was chilled and everything. So this is, it's not a shot. Actually, I should have added some good stuff to this. I could go get it real quick. I have like espresso flavored liqueur, but I didn't, okay? So this is a teaspoon of vanilla, and I used cold brew. Now you can use espresso powder if you'd like, but like Pam said earlier, I just brew my cold brew right here. You can do the concentrated or you can do ready to drink. Since mine was ready to drink, I just added a little more cold brew than what it said, okay? And every home should have not just 1 spatula, but like 5 of them, right guys? Who's with me on that one? You need 5 spatulas. Okay, so I've added my flavorings to this, and now I'm gonna whip it. So you're gonna take your cover here. You're gonna put those little 2 prongs inside the handle there, okay? And you're going to whip. Okay? Now I shouldn't have worn these bracelets. So I'm just gonna whip this up. Now what's really funny is that it says like minutes in the recipe that I got this from, but you guys know, now this is in the first gear, okay? This is the first gear. You guys know that we don't take minutes, we only take seconds, all right? So now you have to be careful with this recipe because if you over whip it, you're going to separate the cream and the chocolate, and that's not what you want, all right? So you're gonna think it's a little liquidy. So what you're gonna do, you guys see that, all right? What you're gonna do is you're gonna take that and you're gonna chill it for about an hour so that it sets, and it can stay in your fridge. Now I use one of our Tupperware tumblers, and the impression seal fits on top of there, the wine glass, all right? So you can see how nice and firm that is and nice and set, okay? And then, sorry guys, I pre-did all this, all right? I can take whipping cream, which I also made in the whipping mix. And the whipping cream, you can do all kinds of whipping cream flavors, okay? If you don't want to use sugar, you can use honey, you can use maple syrup, whatever flavors you want to use with it, all right? So I'm going to take a dollop of my whipping cream. I'm going to put it right on top of my chocolate mousse for Santa. Oh, he needs more whipping cream. And I'm going to add a little shaved chocolate. What I did was I just took our peeler. I took one of the chocolate bars right here. Now, if you really want to do cute curled chocolate, what you're going to do is you're going to melt some chocolate in the microwave, you're going to take a cookie sheet and you're going to layer it on the back of a cookie sheet really, really thin. And then you're going to put it in the freezer till it sets, okay, just so you can touch it and it's still good. And then you're going to take a scraper and scrape it off, and it's going to make really pretty curls for you. Well, I didn't have time to do that for you, so all I did was shave some chocolate, all right? So it looks pretty already. Then, of course, you're going to take your beautiful fresh fruit that you have in your, look at that. Isn't that cute? Isn't that fun, adorable? So there's Santa's chocolate mousse, okay? So we get that going on. And of course, you got to have cookies for Santa, all right? So we're going to make some cookies for Santa real quick. These are low-carb pumpkin cookies. There's no sugar in here, but I am telling you, they are delicious, and you'll never, ever know, okay? So what I'm going to do with the rest of my chocolate cream here is I'm just going to scrape it out really quick. All right. And I'm going to use my clearly elegant bowls. All right. And I don't mind if there's a little bit in here already, because I'm just going to go right into the pumpkin mix. Just going to add some chocolate flavor to that anyway. All right, guys? All right. You all good with that? Okay. Now, sorry about the band-aid. What I did was, we actually have pumpkins that we grew in our own backyard. So I took the Smart Steamer and I cut up the pumpkin into chunks, and I steamed the pumpkin and I scraped it out, and then I put it inside of the Power Chef and I chopped it up, okay? So I made my own pumpkin puree. Of course, you you don't want pumpkin pie filling, you want pumpkin puree, okay? So it's about a half cup to 3/4 cups, and that's what the recipe said. And I'm like, well, how the heck do I know how much I want? So guess what? You guys know with Tupperware, we've got a 2/3 cup. So that's what I used in my recipe, was 2/3 of pumpkin puree, okay? And then I'm going to add 2 eggs, vanilla, and oil, coconut oil. Oops, wrong tray. All right, our ideal bowls are perfect for all your prepping. Now, did you know I've got like 15 common baking mistakes? One of the mistakes people do is they take their eggs right out of the fridge and they use them. Now, your eggs are cold, and it's not really good for your batter and your dough, okay? Let it aerate a little bit. So they actually sat out for a little bit. So I have my coconut oil, and I have my eggs on the side of there, and my vanilla in there, okay? So here we go again. I'm going to add the cover to our whipping mix. Put those prongs down inside of there, and we're just gonna whip, okay? So this just says to whip it till it's blended, okay? So you don't want to use a really heavy blender on this or anything like that. It's just gonna get it too liquidy. So I just wanna whip it so that everything is blended, okay? So we got that. And then if you lift it up halfway and spin, that way the excess on there is gonna come off of your whippers, okay? Now there's 3 sections, and each section has 4 prongs. So every time you turn that handle, you're looking at over 240 some beats, okay? So you don't have to turn it a lot. And that's why you can make whipping cream and all that kind of stuff really, really quickly. All right, so tossing that away. So now I'm gonna add the rest, which is 1 cup of unsweetened shredded coconut, okay? So that's down inside of there. And again, I don't use the beaters this time, so I just want one of my spatulas. And I'm just gonna blend that in really nicely, okay? Just gonna add those coconut flakes inside of there. And here we go. And another common mistake is, did you know that your oven has cold and hot spots, just like a microwave, okay? And so you really want to invest in a good oven thermometer to check the true temperature of your oven. Now, I know my oven, because I had a thermometer in there, and I know my oven runs low. It's lower than what it really says. But then the other little tip for baking, common mistake, is when you use dark pans, your dark pans absorb more heat, okay? And so you want, a trick to that is you don't have to go out there and buy, light colored pans. All you need to do is lower the temperature of your oven. So with the two combinations I have, I know my oven already runs low and I'm using dark pans. I leave the temperature where it's at. But if you've got any of that going on, you can adjust the temperature accordingly, okay? So a couple little tips for you. So the only thing I'm gonna do now is, of course, I'm going to use our silicone baking sheet. Guys, if you don't have this, you gotta get it, okay? You can do your rolls with this. I'm just gonna take a nice heaping spoonful of this cookie dough, okay? And you don't want to press it down too much, okay? Another little tip for you when you're baking is do not put your cookie, you want about 2 inches from your cookies, all right? One is, if you put them too close, yes, they're gonna spread out and then you have one big cookie, and therefore you are heating the whole cookie versus that individual cookie, okay? So it changes a lot of things going on, okay? So, all right, so I'm just gonna plop these out onto my tray. I'm going to put them into the oven for 15 minutes at 350 degrees. And yes, we love Miss Lydia because she is going to pop that recipe out there for you, okay? And so I can do this really quick. I'm gonna put in the oven. Well, look at this, guys. Here are the cookies from the magic of TV. These are delicious. Oh, where am I? Sorry. Right? Delicious. Low carb. These are gluten free. These are paleo friendly. They're only 100 calories. All right. So if you're looking for that $100 calorie snack, this is it right here, and so healthy for you. Okay. But I'm telling you, don't tell anybody that they're so healthy. If you eat them, you would never know the cinnamon in there, because there's like a teaspoon of ground cinnamon in there, and the coconut flour and the coconut. It's just all those flavors bring out the sweetness, and they're so good for you. So enjoy a great chocolate mousse and cookies for Santa this holiday season. Thanks, guys. I'm gonna finish my cookies here. And by the way, when you're giving tips at your parties, don't give them all your tips. You know what? I only gave you like 3 or 4 of my tips tonight. If you want to hear more, you need to come to the next party at Lydia's house or at Lydia's Facebook party, okay? And I'll give you more baking tips with Tupperware.
Thank you so much, Loretta. That was awesome. And guys, don't you love her tips? If I could teach you anything tonight or really get you to absorb something tonight, absorb the way she threw those tips in there. It kept you listening. It was like, It was like your ahas right there written out for you. So are you keeping track of